Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a Pokemon that I have not taken a look at all on my channel. It's going to be, of course, Greninja. Of course, that's maybe a lie. But anyway, we're gonna take a look today at a very strong team with Greninja, and honestly, I can really recommend you this team. Like, honestly, I enjoy this cup so much right now. Remix Cup is so much fun for me because I have so many cool teams that all kind of work out. And so here we're gonna see a team around Greninja, a team with the Deoxys defense in the lead, which is one of the strongest Pokemon for sure in this cup, in the Say-Sub of Steelix. And this team works so well because basically our lead is going to be a Psychic type, going to be able to beat all those Fighting type Pokemon, which is quite important. But also, we're going to have a Say-Swap that has Psychic type coverage. And look at this first battle here already. We're going to get completely hardwalled. The opponent has a Shadow Sableye against our Psychic type in the lead. We're going to have here the Magnezone against our Greninja. And we had also the other matchup that we also weren't able to win, which I forgot about now already, but it is fine. We're going to be able to go for the Thunderbolt here, and while we got completely hardwalled, we can still try to do our best here. And honestly, this team is just lovely to come back also from super hard losses here. As we will see, I can just go ahead and go for the full farm run against the opponent. Greninja is going to have a great time here, so he can go for the full farm run, have a ton of energy, and we can go for that double Hydro Cannon against the opponent's Magnezone. Not too sure if it's going to knock them out because they are not Shadow, but it is still going to do a ton of damage. Let's find out, is it going to be enough here? It is, and we can win this battle. While getting completely hardwalled, this team still can function quite well. Against the Carbink, we're going to stay in for a little bit. You can decide to go for a Psycho Boost if you want to, but I'd rather swap onto the Steelix. We are running Earthquake here. Why do I run Earthquake? Because A, I don't have a lot of charge TMs, and this was the first move that I got, and I was kind of thinking like either I go for Crunch or for Earthquake, whatever I get first I will use, and otherwise because Earthquake going to allow you to beat Carbink quite easily, and Earthquake also going to be quite a nice surprise factor against some of the other Steel-type Pokemon like a Registeel. And honestly, this was not scripted. I did not know that this was the second battle, but it's going to be quite nice because look at this. The opponent did not expect this, and with this alone, we're going to be able to use a shield here and completely wall the opponent just with a Steelix. Yes, we are 2 shields down, but do I really care? I do not. They go into the Carbink, and now it's Psychic Fangs time as we do. Not any damage really with it, but we can just force some shields eventually. We can drop the opponent's defense the entire time, and this is going to be so great because even a Moonblast should not knock us out. We are still a Shadow Pokemon, but we're still also a Steel-type Pokemon with a ton of bulk to it, and so Moonblast coming through here doing barely any damage. We will be able to go for another charge move here with our Deoxys, and they gonna basically forfeit this battle. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. We're going to have a Poliwrath in the lead. That's going to be great for us to face in the lead. It's also still fine as a safe swap for us because we still have Psychic Fangs on our Shadow Steelix, which does quite a lot of damage against it. And also, Poliwrath has to be baited out for this team to work. Greninja has no play at all against Poliwrath, and so it is really important to get rid of this Pokemon early on or just bait it out with the Steelix. In comes here the opponent's Empoleon. We are going to be forced to use a shield here, but we are going to be also able to try to get some extra energy here, and we should be able to knock them out with 2 Night Slashes as well. Greninja does insane amounts of damage here. Honestly, such a fun Pokemon to use. That's why I love to use Greninja all the time. It is just fun to play with it. Like, it's just like so much fun to go ahead, try to get some boost, get a ton of fast damage in, and still also go down quite fast, which just happens with this Pokemon. Anyway, Hydro Cannon still going to do some decent chunk here against the opponent. I am going to call the bait here now on my Deoxys. I was thinking most likely I'm still going to be able to survive a Scald anyway, so we let the move go through. It is going to be the Icy one, and they swap out catching a move onto a Gligar. And honestly, I can swap out of here into my Steelix. Yes, Dig is going to be super effective, and I can go at least for some Psychic Fangs soon, but I make a little bit of a mistake here. I'm honest, I definitely make a little mistake here because Psychic Fangs coming through here, that's totally fine. All good so far. I not charge as well, which doesn't matter because he uses shield. But I decide to, not go for a charge move. I guess it actually didn't matter. Never mind. I thought it would matter, but I would have not been able to win the CMP tie anyway. And so everything is okay. I lose this battle fair and square, not my own mistake, and we can move on to the next one. Just, unfortunate play there. There was nothing that I actually can do, which is kind of hilarious. Anyway, speaking of kind of hilarious, some of the lag that I had today was not really hilarious. We see some lag all the time as well. But as you're going to see here, the opponent is going to go for Disarming Voice. I decide to use a shield. And now we can overfarm back to a double Night Slash. And what I want to do is, if they use a shield, I decide to go for Night Slash. But what we see here as well is that the Night Slash takes some time, and all of a sudden, it's already back to the Greninja that was way faster than usual. And so I was not able to go for my charge move because I was a little bit surprised about this. It is still fine. Like, I'm not going to say that this is going to impact the battle that crazy, but I would have really liked to just go for the back-to-back Night Slash to not use another shield on my Greninja, but it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to be able to go for another Night Slash here against the opponent's Mantine, which is kind of cool. So we got some damage onto them. We still should survive an Aerial Ace as well. And we can swap out and keep the energy, which is quite nice because look at this. It's going to be the Quagsire in the back. Quagsire is going to definitely be a little bit of an issue for the Steelix, for example, but we can still take 2 charge moves here. They are running Awkward Heal, and so we are going to be able to go for the Psycho Boost spam. Of course, the second Psycho Boost is never going to do as much damage as the first, as we're always going to debuff ourselves by 2 stages, and so this is going to do less and less damage, but we don't really need a lot of damage anymore to put them into Night Slash range, and this is exactly what I'm going to try to do here. They are on red health, this should be enough. Night Slash is coming through here, and with this, the opponent is going to go down, and it's down to the Mantine. The Mantine still might be able, though, to go for 2 Water Pulses against our Steelix and knock that out with that, so it is not over yet. It's definitely not over yet, but Steelix is doing so much damage with the fast move here. Like, look at this, the opponent is quite low already. We just need to hit a 1 more charge move, and we can, and so that's going to be a very good game as well, and we can move on to the next opponent. So let's take a look what they're going to run. They're going to have another Mantine here. We are running Thunderbolt, by the way, basically just for Mantine. Also, Rockslide is fine here. Rockslide is definitely the most preferred variant for this team here as well, and also for the meta. The thing is just I don't have charge TMs. Like, I literally just don't have charge TMs, so for me, like, there's not really a big difference between Thunderbolt and Rockslide. Both of them are totally fine. I don't think there's going to be games where it really mattered for me that I have the Thunderbolt over the Rockslide. Both moves are totally fine for the meta, but I just did not really have any kind of, charge TMs to get new, like, Rockslide on this Pokemon, so it is a little bit annoying, but anyway, we're going to see here Credillia against us. Credillia is not going to appreciate the Psychic Fangs coming through, as this is going to debuff them. I decided to use a shield on the first move here from the opponent, but the second move I'm going to let go through. I know there's still Survive 1 here anyway. We should be able to fully farm them down at this point and get out of here with a ton of energy, which is going to be lovely against the Mantine. Getting them a little bit low will put them into range for the Psycho Boost already, which is going to be a little bit more energy efficient compared to that other move there. But honestly, the opponent actually going to have to take another Psychic Fangs. And so with that, they're forced to go for a charge move. Let's see if it's going to even knock me out. If it's an Aerial Ace, it is an Aerial Ace. It does not knock me out. And so they're at 1 HP, which I can now try to retaliate with my Greninja. Greninja can get some free energy here. Aerial Ace coming through. And we will see the Victory Bell coming in. And that's lovely, because like this, we are going to be able to go for another Hydro Cannon. And this is going to put them easily into range for 2 Psycho Boost. Otherwise, they actually would survive a debuffed Psycho Boost. So like this, we're going to be ensuring a knockout here against the opponent, and we will be able to win this battle. Let's see what the next opponent has. We're going to have an Empoleon in the lead. That's going to be quite nice. Let's see what they swap into. They swap into a Dragon-type Pokemon. Not too surprised with that lead. But what we can do is we can go for a Psycho Boost and we can swap out into the Steelix, hoping that we can farm them down before they can go for 2 charge moves. Like 1 charge move guaranteed here, but hopefully we can get the knockout before they can go for another Awkward Tail. This would be lovely. In comes the first one, and we can farm them down. And also, we have access to Earthquake, so if they want to go back into their Empoleon now, they might, catch a little bit of a surprise here. So let's find out if they know that we have Earthquake. Let's find out if they know and if they use a shield here. They decide to no-shield this one, and what a ginormous mistake that was, because like this game is over. This game, I think, took only like 1.5 minutes, and so that was quite a fast one, and we can move on to the next opponent. Carbonk in the lead. You kind of want to stay in all the time for a little bit, but they swap out actually into the Victory Bell, which is quite interesting. I most likely misplay this one a little bit here for sure. I decided to now stay in and go for another Psycho Boost afterwards as well, I think. Just trying to force some shields from the opponent. But I should have most likely swapped out after the first Psycho Boost in my Steelix already. I think that would have been a wiser choice. Because like this, I am going to be forced to use some shields as well. Luckily, they go for the Leaf Blade, not the Acid Spray. But they can still reach another charge move, which maybe I would have been able to avoid as well if I went straight for my Psychic Fangs. But it is what it is. We can still farm them down. We still have a ton of energy. And in comes the Carbink. And Carbink, again, does not enjoy the Earthquake. But still, Maybe this kind of misplay here kind of going to cost me the game. We have to see what they're going to have in the back. I actually don't remember because this was actually like already last night for me. Like you see it on the, like the other battles were basically today, like the first 5. Those were from last night. So I don't know what they have in the back. It's going to be a Tropius, and yes, we forfeit. So there was a Grasshole team from the opponent, but let's see what the next opponent going to have here. We're going to have a Goodra. Goodra is not going to enjoy this Psycho Boost at all. This is going to be able to connect, do some nice damage, and in comes our Steelix trying to go for the full farm down like in the first battle there before as well, as we were going to be able to go ahead and try to farm them down, but they swap out into an opponent again. Can we go for the bait? Sadly, the opponent is going to decide to go for their Hydro Cannon before I can go for that Earthquake, so we have to bait them now. Psychic Fangs coming through, let's see if they're gonna call it, if they're gonna fall for it. They are falling for it, and so we try to our best to go for another charge move, but they can sadly reach theirs in time, and so for me, it is better to just get some energy on my Deoxys, most likely, go for the full counter down, and this is going to be looking quite okay for us if we're gonna try to catch a move here. The, Greninja is going to come through here. We can try to go for the full farm down against the Goodra as well. I think that's our only play, to go for the full farm down here. But the opponent still has another Pokemon in the back. We are shields down. It is going to be quite a day. We are still trying to go for another charge move against the Empoleon, but it's not going to be looking too good for us. The Night Slash coming through here. In comes the Gligar from the opponent, which is very likely going to go for a shield here against our Hydro Cannon. And so it's down to our Deoxys, and sadly, while Deoxys is bulky, I actually still have a very bad Deoxys here, as you can see. A lot of people, basically every time I have Deoxys in a video, they are like, oh, is there like a specific bulk or breakpoint? No, there's not. This is the only Deoxys that I had back in the day when I first wanted to build this Pokemon. But the one cool thing about our Deoxys is we're going to always be able to win the CMP tie, and we might actually see it here as well, as the opponent has a Deoxys as well, but they might even run Rock Slide. Rock Slide again is recommended for this meta. Might be better than Thunderbolt. Like for me, like I did not really see a big difference again. Like it is not really something where you have to worry too much about it. I feel like both of them have like some kind of play. Here, that is just kind of hilarious, isn't it? Like both of us swapping out in the same time into the same Pokemon. And also, not only this, we had the first same Pokemon, this same Pokemon, and also they are also running the Earthquake, which is hilarious because I also run the Earthquake, and the opponent is going to use a shield here against ours, which is fine. It is actually maybe even better for me, because I have that Greninja, I have that Hydro Cannon, this should knock them out, and we hopefully going to be able to align ourselves later on. So Deoxys is coming through, and it's going to be a Rock Slide here, at least we know that. But we're still going to be forced to use a shield with our squishy Greninja, as they can go for another charge move. That is not ideal. That is quite bad for us, so let's see if we can still do anything here. By the way, I was quite unlucky. I did not get a single boost, I think, with Greninja at all. At least as far as I remember. And yep, I'm going to be able to go up against that Empoleon now. But if you remember, I have also a ton of energy on my one, and I am not running Rock Slide. And so maybe Thunderbolt is the way to go. I don't know, because Psycho Boost is going to get shielded, but Thunderbolt is going to connect. And if I had Rock Slide now, I would have been in a tough spot, but like this, I can just knock them out. And so maybe Thunderbolt is actually the better play. Final team. This is my team. This is the team that I showcased early on. I don't know. It's going to be Potter's no Ninetales for sure. Like, definitely. Oh, no, never mind. It's a DSB. And it's a great catch on the Thunderbolt. That is quite a lovely catch from them. Yeah, I cannot really say anything against it, right? Like, that was just quite a good catch. But we can at least still go for Hydro Cannon, try to retaliate, try to go for the full farm down. We might have to take a charge move, but I am going to use a shield in the first one. It's going to be the Scorching Sand anyway. But we're going to try to go for the full farm down now, try to get some nice energy. And they decide to go back into their Ninetales, very likely. Yeah, and I go for the bait, because why not go for a bait if you can do it? It is always quite a lovely. Do we get a boost here? We do not get a boost, and we're gonna see the opponent going for a charge move. Great play by them as well, going for their bait, but I can go for another Hydro Cannon now. That is going to be able to knock them out if they're going to let the move go through, but they still don't. And they're forced to go for a Dazzling Gleam here if they want to knock me out, but it's just going to be another Weather Ball, as they are gonna take another hit here and they're gonna go down with that. So what do they have in the back that we were so scared about the Greninja? It is going to be a Jellicent, which then does make sense. What we did here is actually quite clever. We decided to keep our Night Slash. Why is this so clever? Because we have access to Psychic Fangs, which is going to drop the opponent's defense. We're always gonna win CMP tie, and no matter what the opponent's gonna do now, they're gonna take some super effective and debuff damage then for them, all for their own defense, from our Greninja. And this is definitely going going to one-shot from this range. I still gonna try to play around with my Deoxys because one Psycho Boost most likely does the trick as well. And they're forced to go for a big Shadow Ball here. But I actually still get to the Psycho Boost, and that's going to seal the deal. That's continued for this video. Great team, got up to over 2,700 rating with this team. And hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.